I remember one day we went to the witchcraft market in Mexico City, my warlock and I. We were going to do this major ceremony, so we needed a lot of stuff. So we went to buy our stuff, and he said, I want to introduce you to the power of the miserable. This is the power that controls the witchcraft in Mexico. So he took me through the alleys to a very hidden place within the market of witchcraft. And there was a place, but there was no image there. There was nothing there. And he looked at the place and he said, well, it has been taken to eat. When a warlock says that a saint has been taken out to eat, it means that they're doing blood sacrifices to the image. That's why so many people are tied up with the images. We went inside the Catholic churches with the permission of the priests to bring blood to the images so they can captivate the people. Amen. Bowing and praying to images made of stone, made of wood. Amen. It's not stone and wood. It's the devil, and they have been worked out with blood sacrifices. So he said, well, it's not here. It's too bad, he said, because it's a very impressive image. It's like a little kid, but has no eyes. And from the holes where the eyes supposed to be, there's just blood coming out throughout his face. And I said, well, I thought to myself, well, finally, I'm happy I didn't see that thing. And we were walking out from the market when the warlock starts screaming, stop, stop, look down there, look down there. And I said, where? Just where you cross. And I turn around the very place where I have walked by. And there was like a homeless laying in the floor. He was not there 30 seconds ago. So he was in the floor like that. And the warlock said, look to his face, it's him. Look to his face, it's him. So I look at his face, and he had no eyes. And there was blood coming out of the holes. And he started to speak. And he said, I'm coming to take what is mine. The hour has come for you. And I look at the warlock and I said, what does this mean? And he said, well, it means that we need to give the money to the poor, because he's the patron of the miserable. I knew in my heart it was not that. He was coming after our souls and our days were counted. During all that year, I was at the brink of death, major tragedies. I was assaulted with guns. I was in a fire. I was in the biggest earthquake in Mexico City in all the damaged area. 4 different times the devil wanted to kill me. So I started to escape from death. So I ran to Puerto Rico. I said, I want to get away from Mexico City. That the spirit of death is all after me. So I went to take some vacations in Puerto Rico when I was in a city, and there was a storm, and a whole mountain came down and crushed the town where I was. And exactly the same atmosphere in Mexico, where 7,000 buildings came down in '85 in the earthquake. I was trying to rescue people. Everybody wanted to rescue people. There were so many. We lost more than 300,000 people in that earthquake. So one of the points I was trying to rescue some people in a hotel, and the hotel exploded. I was totally sent out by the fire, and the devil was there telling me, I'm coming. There's no way to escape. There's no way to escape. There's no way to escape. The torment of death was so strong in my life. Amen. The warlocks, the witches, nobody could do anything. We were all in the same trap. There was no way to come out. And so one night, all these demons show up and told me, there's no way out. Why don't you kill yourself? And I said, well, that's a good idea. That's what I'm going to do. And when devils show up and say, well, if you don't kill yourself, you're going to have a palsy, you're going to have a brain stroke, because the pressure within you is so strong that you're going to be crippled all your life. And I said, I don't want to be crippled all my life. I better cut off my veins and get rid of all this torment. So I was so demon-possessed, and this battle was going on so tough inside of me that I took a blade and I cut my veins. And I shed the blood everywhere in the room. And I was just screaming and screaming and screaming to God and saying, where are you, God? Where are you, Jesus? You told me you were going to save me. And there's nowhere where you are. There's nowhere where you are. And I cut my veins, and I had a maid, and she called my sister and said, you have to come immediately. Your sister, it's bleeding. It's terrible. So she came to pick me up, and I was almost dead. She put me in a car and took me to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, I was in the emergency room. I was half dead. I was just so weak. I have lost so much blood. When I heard the audible voice of God that said, your Father in heaven will not forsake you. And I went into a deep sleep. They put all kind of drugs in me. And I woke up in a mental hospital. At this point, you have to understand, my mind was not working at all. My face was already half palsy because of the extreme tension I was into with all these demons. I could not make one sentence clear. You will be speaking to me, anything, and I will turn around and I will say, oh yeah, look at the spiders in the wall. Oh, they are all over. And that was the conversation I should have with every person. I could not make sense. People will say one thing, I will say another. I was so out in space because of all these demons. One was talking, the other was talking, that I did not have a mind. So I entered to the hospital. I didn't know where I was. Everything, I just was hearing all these people screaming. The nights in a mental hospital are so cruel. And you can hear all these people, just screaming. Everybody's demon-possessed there. And they have to tie them up, and they have to bring them to special shocks. And you're just waiting to the next person that is going to scream. It's a nightmare to be down there. But I was exactly like they were. So one day, an aunt came to the room, an aunt of mine. Those kind of aunts that never show up, she showed up. And I say, what are you doing here? Well, she said, I knew you were here. And I want to tell you, there's someone I met. There's a man that I met that I want him to talk to you because he truly changed my life. Can he come? I said, sure. I'm going to be confined here forever, so some entertainment is bring him in. It was 7 o'clock in the morning, one morning, when a man entered my room. And there was something in that man. The Spirit of God was all over him. The moment he penetrated that room, it was like light. He started to speak about Jesus. Everything in me